People see a tiny clip of Frank online. They will sometimes make a full assessment on him, on our walks, his weight, sometimes his behaviour, whether he should be off lead, whether he should meet other dogs, whether I'm doing too much, whether I'm not doing enough. And this is the part of having a reactive dog that people don't talk about enough. You're not just managing your dog. You're managing other people's opinions, other people's dogs, other people's assumptions, your own nervous system, all at the same time. But guess what? I know my dog. I know Frank. I know what his body looks like when he's relaxed. I know what he looks like when he's scanning the horizon. I know what he looks like when he's starting to get tense. I know what environments help him decompress. I know what situations are not worth putting him in. I know which dogs he's happy with. I know which situations are just too much. And I also know that random dogs rushing him are not something I'm willing to gamble with. Now, Frank is a rescue German Shepherd. He was surrendered to us, and we don't know everything that happened to him before he came to us, but we know enough from living with him. When you live with a dog like Frank, you learn very quickly that love isn't just cuddles and nice videos. Love is management. Love is paying attention. Love is making boring decisions that other people might not understand. Love is leaving somewhere before things go wrong. Love is crossing the road. Love is saying, no, he doesn't want to say hello. Love is choosing an empty beach at sunrise instead of a busy park at lunchtime. Love is not forcing your dog into situations just because other people think they should be able to cope. And this is why reactive dog owners get frustrated when people say things like dogs should just be dogs. Because I agree, dogs should be dogs. But that doesn't mean throwing my dog into situations that he can't handle and then calling it freedom. For Frank, being a dog is sniffing freely, running, paddling in the sea, carrying ridiculous sticks, as you can see from the other videos that I make, rolling around, just watching the world go by, being with me and Spare Human and my daughter, people he trusts, feeling safe and having space to do that. It's not having strange dogs charging into his face while their owner shouts, "It's okay, he's friendly," because that phrase means absolutely nothing to a reactive dog owner. Your dog might be friendly, but my dog might not want your dog in his space. And that really should be enough. I don't need Frank to be anyone's idea of a perfect dog. I need him to be safe. I need other dogs to be safe. I need the walks to be manageable. And I need him to trust that I'm not going to keep putting him in situations where he feels like he's got to defend himself. And that is the bit that people miss. When you have a reactive dog, every walk is built on tiny decisions. Where you go, what time you go, what equipment you use, whether you keep moving, Frank's a big dog, whether you turn around, whether you let a situation play out or get out of there early, whether you listen to your gut. This has never been wrong for me. You ignore someone else's opinion and advocate for your dog anyway. And I've learned that my job isn't to make Frank look impressive to strangers. My job is to understand the dog in front of me, and that means that I don't let every single dog meet him. He has dogs that he knows and dogs that he trusts, dogs that he's absolutely comfortable with. And that took a lot of time. We didn't just go, he needs socialising, and then chuck him into a world full of chaos, because socialising a dog to us does not mean overwhelming them. It doesn't mean letting every dog run over, because apparently that's what dogs do. For us, we needed to build confidence with him, not panic. With a rescue dog like Frank and not knowing his whole history, we do have to be more careful and more responsible. And it's not because they're bad, it's because they're communicating. We know our dogs, a growl is communicating. Stiff body language, communication. Avoidance is communication. Scanning and pulling away, communication. The more you try to ignore that kind of communication, the louder his behaviour comes. That's why I'm so protective of Frank's space. Not because I think he's fragile, because I respect him, and that's the difference. And I think that's why a lot of reactive dog owners end up feeling ashamed, because people make you feel like your dog is a problem. and like you failed. If you were a better owner, your dog would be more sociable, your dog would be more neutral, more easy, more convenient. But some dogs aren't easy. Some dogs come with history you don't know. Some dogs come with big feelings, like Frank. Some dogs need more structure and more space. Some dogs need you to just stop caring what other people think and actually pay attention to them and what they're trying to tell you. That's been the massive lesson that I've had with Frank. He's not here to perform. He's not a working dog. He's also not here to be the dog that other people think he should be. He's the dog that I have. Honestly, he is brilliant. He's funny, he's loyal, he's dramatic, he's clever, he's very stubborn, he's loving, he's protective. He's an absolute character. Dogs and their owners. But he also has his limits. Knowing those limits doesn't make me a bad owner. I think it makes me a responsible one. So when people ask me why I choose certain walks, or why we avoid certain dogs, or why we decide to take him to places that have space at certain times of the day, that's simply why. Because we know him. Because we know what helps him stay calm. And we also know what situations are going to be too much for him. And we know that a calm, happy Frank after a walk is better than a stressed out, overstimulated Frank after a walk where, what was I doing, trying to prove a point? And I think that's something that us reactive dog owners need to hear more often. You don't have to prove your dog to anyone. You don't have to make your dog more convenient for strangers. You don't have to accept every single interaction. You don't have to stand there while other people ignore your boundary. You're allowed to say no, you're allowed to turn around, you're allowed to protect your dog's peace. Sometimes people think you're rude. A lot of people think I'm rude. Because the same people that judge you for being careful are probably the same ones that aren't around if something goes wrong. If an off-lead dog runs over and your dog reacts, who gets blamed? You do. If your dog is on lead and another dog invades their space, who gets labelled aggressive? Usually. If you ask for space and people ignore you, who ends up carrying the stress of that walk home? You do. So no, I don't leave Frank's safety up to strangers. I don't leave his progress up to random opinions. I definitely don't let the comments section decide what my dog can and can't cope with. He likes quiet spaces, he likes clear boundaries, he likes controlled introduction, letting him be a dog in ways that feel safe to him. Reactive dog ownership to me is not about creating the perfect dog. It's about building trust with the dog that you actually have. If you've got a dog like Frank, you'll know exactly what I mean. And the wins can look so small from the outside. Calm walk, dog that's been ignored in the distance, relaxed body, soft face, a dog coming home and actually resting. But to us, those are big wins, especially when you know what you started with in the first place. So this is your reminder if you need it. Know your dog. Trust what you know. Stop letting strangers make you doubt what's clearly working for you. Because management is not failure. Management is how you give a dog like Frank a better life.